office, we fully stock our kitchen. It's part of our perks. We like to pay, like have food there. Nobody likes a grumpy employee. So we just fill it, and it's a complete office expense to me. It's 100%. I can't leave my office. I don't take lunch hour as an owner. I'm constantly working. So I'm pretty much eating as I'm working and going. And so it's an office expense that I take in. Again, there's office expenses: pens, paper, your software, your computers. Classes. Pretty much everything is an expense other than.
Like a girlfriend said something to me the other day about her pass, and she was like, "Well, I can do a portion of it to my health and wellness benefit." And I was like, "Health and wellness? I didn't know about that. Is that something legitimate?"
A lot of accountants will allow you to expense it, and it's usually coded as entertainment. And entertainment again is only half. And it's a very questionable gray area. Again, accountants, some of them are very conservative, others are very risky, and you just have to weigh the options in there. But normally, no, our business doesn't go out and expense.
And what if it's like, so I crochet, my hats, and I'm using my hands all the time, and I definitely get muscle soreness and things like that. So taking a yoga class is something that really helps me. Would I be able to write that off?
I generally not saying that for you personally. So, a haircut, some people try to get away with, it's not. I mean, they're like, well, I have to look good for my job. I mean, that would be awesome. If I could go shopping, that would be awesome. If the business would expense that all for me. Some industries do. Like, we have a client that they get one of the perks they give to their employees. They give them an expense account for clothing, but they're an attorney law office that's required them to dress a certain way to appear before the court. And so they're allowed a certain clothing allowance. Some of these questions you're going to have to ask your accountant to see what they're comfortable with, if they're not comfortable with. But I mean, there's a lot of different kinds of expenses. There is different perks you can offer your employee, like we were talking about the 125s and stuff. You can pay for meals, you can pay for health insurance, you can pay for health savings account contributions to those. A lot of people will give company vehicles or fuel cards or
Christmas bonus.
Yeah, again, payroll though. Some people try to just give it cash. You can't do that.
Is there like a list online that you can look at and see things that are not deductible?
I can definitely look them for you. I can email it out if there is. I don't know if anybody has any other questions about expenses.
If you, as a business owner, can you pay yourself mileage as opposed to expensing all your gas, car repairs, and stuff like that?
Yes, generally what you do is you're going to pay yourself mileage or everything else is the rule.
Yeah, one or the other, right?
Yeah, so if you stick with one, you can't just switch the next year because you're like, oh, I got more. So if you're gonna do mileage, you can keep track of your log and you get reimbursed that 55.5 cents, which is this year. If you don't, the other portion is that, say you buy a company vehicle, you go out and buy a vehicle, and you take in that vehicle, so it's an asset to your business. You can expense the repairs on it, the fuel on it, the repairs and maintenance. You can depreciate it, which is another expense. Sometimes you have there's all different kinds of depreciation schedules. Some people, it allows for it in the year because they have enough profit, they'll completely depreciate their vehicles. They just bought a $25,000 vehicle and they completely expense the whole thing that year. Other times they they'll divide it out between the next 5 and take advantage of it for the next 5. But
If I put 100,000 on it a year, I'm gonna write off that mileage this year because that's the kind of mileage we're writing.
yeah. But if you forgot to do those things too on your business side and you didn't reimburse for them, there is on your personal side, you can actually expense business-related stuff. So you can pick it up somewhere. And there's all different kinds of expenses that you can take advantage of. And I can get a general list out if that's what you all need. Okay. All right. So we're going to move on with sales tax. Oh. All right. Keep tapping. Yeah. Okay. Sales tax basics. basically what we're talking about is our terms, licenses, sales tax collection, tax exempt purchases, miscellaneous use tax, contacts and resources. Based on the business that you are and what you do in your business, this can go again like payroll in a million different directions. We're going to stick with the basics, retail and wholesale. Most of you will fall within that. Some of you, I don't think any of you sold like farmers markets or different kinds of, do you? Okay. So there's going to be a section in here, but if you have further questions, I can talk with you on the side about those things. So first, the basic terms is the jurisdiction. This is your physical taxing territory in a map. I don't know where all of you are with your business, but I'm going to relate most of this to Glenwood, because we're in Glenwood. So in Glenwood, that would consist of the city, the state, the special, which we'll get into, special district, which is our Roaring Fork Transportation District that runs up and down Grand Avenue. And we also have the county, which is Garfield County. Our state collected or statutory, again, which we just highlighted on, the Colorado Department of Revenue collects those taxes, and Glenwood Springs is actually their own home rule city. They don't have the state collect for them. They actually collect their own. So if you have a business in the city, you're going to be preparing a sales tax report for the state, which collects the RTA, which is your Roaring Fork Transportation Authority, your county and your state on one report, and then just the town of Glenwood Springs. Let's see. Special districts, which a lot of us are only subject to this rural transportation district or authority. There's other weird stuff, which is culture facilities districts, more in Denver. We don't deal with those. Local improvement district tax, sometimes we have those. Like if you shop at Target, you see that additional 1.5% on your receipt. You're paying for that improvement area, you as a consumer. Service fees, these are given to you as the collector. So let's say, for example, I'm selling coffee and I report timely to the state. They give me a discount for doing that, which we'll get into more. Nexus, again, is the actual physical location or substantial presence within the state of Colorado. Even if the business is a home base in another state, Nexus is determined whether or not a company has to register and comply with Colorado state law. To establish substantial nexus for state tax would require a retailer or manufacturer to have an office, store, warehouse, or other place of business, representative, or an agent selling within Colorado. So if a representative is selling to me, they have their business in Nevada, but they sell to me regularly in Colorado, they now have a presence in Colorado. They're here, even though they don't have a physical location. If the sale is made through a catalog sales or mail advertising media, the business must collect sales tax if Nexus has otherwise been established in Colorado. So that means if you have like a sales rep that's working in the area, a lot of us will just order online from, like, say, for Gap or something. You know, you're buying it from wherever they are. They're not collecting on Glenwood Springs tax, local, because you're not actually buying from somebody.
Well, what if they have a retail outlet, like in Grand Junction? Does that
And-
establish a nexus, even though you're ordering online?
Yeah, because they have a business location, you're walking into the Grand Junction location, so now you're paying Grand Junction tax.
But if
And
you order
all the
online,
tax there.
none.
And when I'm online shopping, like for clothing, the tax district shows up in the part where I'm filling out the billing, your address, your billing address, where your tax district is. Most sites require that, and it does matter if you're within the city or outside the city limits, and so they are collecting.
Some will, some won't. Some take it further, like the bigger corporations, because they want to protect themselves.
Right.
And so they will just collect it, and they'll just say, you know what, we're not going to risk here, we're going to take ourselves up to here, and we're going to consider ourselves in the state.
More extra profit either way.
Yeah, 'cause it's like, it's a gray area, and they'd rather just be more conservative than risky with it. So,
I have a question. Like, I have a distributor that I buy from, and I think they're based out of like Pennsylvania. And whenever they send me stuff out, they never charge me taxes, but it's stuff for my use at work, like supplies. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to pay? Like, let's say I bought a pair of clippers and they didn't charge me taxes. They just charged me the shipping fee. And so I have a total without tax plus shipping. What
So
am
you're
I-
consuming the product yourself, you're
Yeah.
not reselling.
No, I'm not reselling, I'm using it myself.
That's called use tax, and we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so let's see, the state of Colorado, let's see, we already went over this. City, again, this is kind of like some cities. What's happened with catalog sales is that a lot of cities are really missing out on all their taxes, and they want their tax, and so it's best that you just contact them directly, because one city may say one thing, another city may say another, and it's just better to call around. If you're going to do business within any of these cities, if you're going to deliver something to them, you can have an event in their area, if you regularly ship something to a client in that area, it's best to call them and ask them how you should handle it.